So I'm reading this article today and kind of sitting here going, oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that. And it's all about grocery shopping. So here we are in an age where inflation, of course, has taken a chunk out of everyone's budget. It costs more to buy what you were buying and what you always perhaps buy week to week over the past couple of years. And then I see some of these phrases and I'm like, oh, let's get into the psychology of this, because this is really what is most amazing to me. Andreas Boecker is chair of the University of Guelph's Food, Agriculture, and Resource Economics Department. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'd like to start by defining some of these terms that I never knew, but people will understand them once you describe them. So what are call products, and what are grocery stores doing to encourage us to spend more?
Hi, Aaron, Natasha. Yeah, so one of the terms that's used, not on the consumer-facing side, but in the research about and the management of retail pricing is a loss leader. When you talk to consumers, you use a term like a door crasher. Yeah, so it's an item that is priced very low, often below the cost, to attract customers to the store, and then entice them to buy other items that are normally priced, and so that the store actually can increase their business and increase the margin that they're making.
The thing that goes through my head right away is that I would think it works the other way as well, right? Like I will go to a store to buy a specific thing, whether it's on sale or not, but then I'm grabbing all the stuff that's on sale as well because it's on sale. So does the psychology not work both ways?
Yes, it can. So there is also a risk that the retailers are exposing themselves to, because you could, if you're really strict about your purchasing, that you say, well, I'm really on a tight budget, and I'm looking at every item at least 2 or 3 times before I put it in my cart or basket, then the retailer will not make the additional margin. And I'm from Germany, and 30 years ago, retailers there, they tried to use coffee as a loss leader, and it backfired terribly because people were just buying the coffee and then stockpiling it or giving it away to friends. So that is the risk, that people will only buy the item that is bringing the retailer a loss or a very low margin, and then leave the store.
Yeah, you also add, and I think this is interesting as well, as you describe, the situation now with coffee, you say not just any product can be used to bait or as bait to lure a customer. It has to be something that is perishable.
Yeah, that makes it so. That's one condition, but it could also be there's some items are permanently priced low to attract the customers who use these or who buy these items on a regular basis, and they don't have to be that perishable. But then the loss leader or the markdown is not as significant as it would be in a typical loss leader that is perishable, so that customers cannot stockpile it.
Okay, so the cheapy chicken at Costco is clearly the perfect example of this. And that's where they do get, because you go in to grab the chicken, but by the time you make it out of the store, you filled your carts with other things. So they take the loss on that and they make the money on the other things. Does that normally mean, Andreas, that the other stuff is overpriced or unfairly priced, if you will?
Yeah, so that's a very difficult question to get into, because we've seen during the pandemic and in the year after it that prices fluctuate a lot. And it's really difficult to say what is a competitive price now. And if prices are fluctuating even within the store over, let's say, the last 4 weeks, then it gets more difficult for the individual consumer to say, well, this is a fair price reduction or a really good deal. And sometimes now the retailers, they can increase the price before they mark it down for, let's say, a loss-leading purpose. So it's difficult, and we know that a lot of the price fluctuations are actually because of supply chain, or have been because of supply chain disruptions, so that there was a shortage in supply and the demand stayed constant, and that led to an increase in prices. But I would also say that retailers now have much more capability to change prices and vary them in a sort of way, in a way that will benefit them, because they now have IT capacity with AI and algorithms to track individual customers, not only individual products that they buy, but also what they put in their cart and in their baskets.
So before we run out of time, can you offer some advice to the average shopper here who knows this is going on? And by the way, one of the other things apparently is that they make you walk through the store to get to those items because you're buying stuff along the way. So
and they move stuff around.
What does the consumer do?
Well, it's making a shopping list and really focusing on the things that are needed, and then also being able, so then buying nothing more than that will certainly help. But also when you then see that the product seems to be too expensive, the question then is, do I need to buy it this week or in this shop or store visit?
Okay.
And other things would be to shop around in the store and really look for, as you said, Natasha, before, that you look for other bargains that you can clearly identify as a bargain. And always ask yourself, am I buying it because it's cheap or it is really of benefit and value to me?
That's a very good question to ask.
Mr. Boecker, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, Andreas Boecker over at the University of Guelph. I always wondered why they put all the good stuff, the cheap stuff, right at the back of the store. And then I realize it now when I'm reading this, because, of course, you have to walk past all this other stuff to get there, and they hope you'll pick something else up.
And they'll randomly move things around, so you have to walk to, you're like, oh, where'd they put this?
I know where the Eggos are.